Overcoming the Unevenness of the Global Economy, a Sustainable and Comprehensive Connectivity Agenda. This is the title of the Dialogue of Continents 2021. SRM Study Center, connected to the Intesa San Paolo Group, has organized in Naples in collaboration with Reinventing Bretton Committee and Center for European Policy, the new edition of this international kermesse. The conference was held on 25th and 26th November and brought together, in a hybrid event, a varied and high-level group of policymakers, experts, private sector leaders, development partners, and other key to explore the following questions. What are the policy options to nurture the economic recovery, keeping a close eye on safeguarding financial and price stability? What is the long view for reinvigorating human capital, expanding access to digital connectivity, and investing in green infrastructure as a way to bolster growth? What is the pathway for putting into action the EU's principled approach to promoting a connectivity that is sustainable, comprehensive, and rule-based? How can global coordination be revived to help end the pandemic? Let's hear more from the voice of the event organizers. Massimo Deandreis, General Manager of SRM.
SRM has been this year here in Naples the organizer of this 2 days meeting Dialogue of Continents together with the Reinventing Bretton Committee and the Center for European Policy Network. At 2 days with different sessions. We had 8 different sessions. We had 38 speakers coming from all over the world, mostly online, but many also here in presence, face-to-face in Naples. We discuss the point of the connectivity at the global level in a world which is more competitive from the trade perspective. We know that we are facing a period of regionalization of the globalization. The Mediterranean is at the center, at the glange of this transformation. And for that reason, we had different sessions from trade, global trade and value chain disruptions to the point related to the European integration and the Mediterranean evolution.
Marc Uzan, Executive Director, Reinventing Bretton Committee.
We need more an encore, we need more regional cooperation among these countries, and I think the EU importance here in terms of helping these countries to create the capacity to cooperate more and more. I think Dialogue of Continents at the end showcase the need maybe to reinvent also a new dialogue within continents. It's not anymore about having global advice, more granular, more calibrating discussions and advice. And I think with our colleagues here with SRM, with our colleague from the Center for European Policy Network, we hope that we created the basis of this dialogue.
Henning Vöpel, Director, Center of European Policy Network.
We are very glad to meet in person under COVID pandemic conditions, and we have been talking about many important topics like the future of globalization, the unevenness of recovery from the pandemic, but also the topic of connectivity, green recovery, and a more resilient global economy. So very important topics regarding the future of globalization, the global economy. And so we are very happy to be here in Naples for the 2021 Dialogue of Continents.
During 2 days of sessions, speakers from all over the world met, including former prime ministers like Petre Roman of Romania, Mehdi Joma of Tunisia, Ali Babakan, Deputy Prime Minister of Turkey, other experts and representatives from the economic and financial world, Antonella May Pochler, Head of Strategy Della Unit Think, Austria, Barzan Bektemirov, Chief Economist, DAIFC, from Kazakhstan, Ekaterina Kozyreva, President IEC International, from Russia, Graham Slack, Chief Economist and Head of Strategic Intelligence, Maersk, from Denmark, Mehdi Mana, Chief Executive Officer, BUNA, from United Arab Emirates, and then Deborah Revotella, Chief Economist, European Investment Bank, Piero Cipollone, Deputy Governor, Banca d'Italia, Ferdinando Nelli Ferrocci, President of the Italian Institute of International Affairs, Mario Mattioli, President, Confitarma. Finally, let's listen to the testimonies of some participants.
Well, I think that this was a very important occasion to have a very open and wide discussion about topics, matters which are basically a background of the whole political reflection nowadays at national, European and global level. The fact that we had a very high level number of participants which brought in the discussion such very high level competence and skill was a big enrichment for everybody. I hope also for the people which were following the discussion on the internet. I think it was very clear presented the relationship between economic, social, fiscal elements in order to work on a real effective level of redistribution of resources at national and overnational level. And the fact that we worked so clearly on this point, and this point was so clearly presented by so many members of my session, let me think that we can use these skills and elements of our discussion also in the future in order to address the debate at political, social and economic level, at national, European and global level for the next future.
The panelists spoke about the need for better communication, connect regions, connect different policies and go together towards a more sustainable development network, a broad network in Europe. So it was a good discussion and I hope that we will continue the discussions in the future as well.
During this conference, we actually covered various aspects of the economy, such as the supply chains, the connectivities, the green economies, the changes in monetary policies and all that put together. And this allows not just sharing the visions, the ideas, but also taking another part's views, which is very important right now at this period as we decided here of deglobalization, to be together, to cooperate and to look for joint solution for all spheres of the economic life of all the continents.
Facing the formidable challenges ahead of us, we need to adjust institutional mechanisms. We need to reform the governance of the global processes and the management of global resources, the global commons. This is the topic of the last discussion. Unfortunately, with the technology that travels very fast, and with an economy and finance that also adjust quite rapidly, institutional change is much slower and sometimes lags behind. I think the red thread of the experience of this year has been really efforts to accelerate institutional reforms, and I think this will have to continue. On that, we must be happy of the important results achieved by the G7, G20, the COP26, all global processes on which Italy, the Italian presidency, has played a formidable role. So I think important breakthroughs were achieved in terms of agreement of global taxation, in terms of issuance of special drawing rights, in terms of agreements on ambitious targets for vaccination and linking together health and finance. But now I think all this process must continue. Italy will have to continue to play a leading role. Our country has the talents, has the responsibility, and has the political and institutional and even geographic, I would say, position to play an important role. And I think a call to arms on that from Naples, in the heart of the Mediterranean and the Euro-Mediterranean region, is very appropriate, because I think the Euro-Mediterranean region can play again, I would say, a central role in this process to give to Europe and to the world a more effective global governance mechanism.